So we don't always think about ankle flexibility having a major role in how effective our Ashtanga yoga practice is. And I'm here to tell you that it does play a major role. I want to offer you like a 10-minute practice that you can do on a regular basis before your Ashtanga yoga practice, and it's going to be a game changer. I personally guarantee it. So what you're going to do is you're going to lie down on your back and hug your right knee into your chest, and then lift your left leg up off the floor, like a foot or two. Don't have to be too fussy about it. And then practice inhaling, flexing your feet towards your body, and exhaling, pointing your toes. So inhaling, flexing, exhale, pointing, just working the ankles here. And do this as many times as you like 10 is a good number. You could go longer. I probably wouldn't do less than 10. But moving both ankles with breath in like a vinyasa form. And then switch sides, bring your left knee in, right leg extended, and flex and open the ankles. They might click and pop a little bit. Just let the breath be the guide. A couple more like this. And again, you can do this as many times as you want. I mean, it's your ankles if they feel stiff or tight. It's a great way to start, especially if you're tired and you practice early in the morning like I do. It feels good to just lie down after a little bit of reflection and open your ankles. After you're complete with this, rock onto your spine, come up to sit, and then come onto your hands and knees. We're going to do a little bit of cat-cow. We'll start with just a basic cat-cow to warm up the spine. So if you're not familiar with this, pretty simple stuff. Inhaling, you lift the head, lift the chest. Exhaling, bring the spine into full flexion, draw the belly back. And you can do this as many times as you like, 10, 15, 20, something like that. Just get the spine feeling a little more supple, especially first thing in the morning. Lead from the tilt of the tailbone. The head is the last thing to move. And move with your breathing. Move from the navel. Move your whole spine. Then after you've done this a few times, go in circles. So circle the spine. It's the same movement, but circle the spine and feel the lengthening on the sides of the rib cage. I like to do this like 5 or 10 revolutions in one direction and then repeat the other way. And it's the same thing where you go inhale, the head is up, exhale, the head is down, but you're moving in circles, which really helps to stretch the side body. And then when you're complete with these, you're going to bring the ankles a little bit more into the experience. So when you're done doing the circles, you come back to a neutral spine. And then you do the cow back on inhale and lift your feet and flex your ankles. And then when you do the cat back, you're going to come into a plank on the tops of your feet and round your spine. So inhale, heels to bum, flex your ankles, and then point and lift and round the back. This works really well. You might want to put some padding under your knees, especially if the knees are a little bit more sensitive. But you're flexing the feet, head up on the inhale. You're pointing the toes, rounding the back on the exhale. Do as many as you like. 10's probably good. And when you're complete with those, come to sit back on your heels. And if sitting on your heels is enough, do that. Or you can come a little bit deeper by leaning back under the tops of the feet and lifting the knees. Keep your chin into your chest. Give a lot of space in the back of the neck. And that's like a 10 breather, that kind of thing. And then when you're complete with that, you can shake the ankles out a little bit. And now we're going to flex the toes. So you're going to sit on your heels with the toes tucked under. This can be pretty intense. So if you needed to, you could put a pillow between your thighs and your calves. Just again, it's like a 10 breather. Open the feet, try and get all the toes on the floor. You can keep the back of the neck long with like a Jalandhara awareness. And then after 10 breaths of opening the feet, let's come into a squat. So in second series, Pashasana is pretty difficult for me. I'm really tall and don't have a lot of ankle flexibility. So if I'm doing second on that day, this is a great way to start. Bringing the knees to the chest, the thighs together, and just encouraging the ankles to lower down. And then maybe over time, you could just lower the heels right to the floor. If they don't touch first thing in the morning, you could create a little bit of space between your feet and your knees. Take your time with it. Next, I'm going to sit in Virasana. So bring your heels apart and sit down between your feet. Try and get all of your toes down onto the floor. Again, keeping the back of the neck long so the spine's nice and straight. And you could stay in this one for a good long sit. It's a great meditation seat. There's also the option to lie down on your back in that pose if you're feeling pretty flexible. For today, I'll probably just sit tall as you see here. And just let the breath flow. Notice I was sitting on a block. You can sit as high as you need to in these. Maybe start on the block and then move to the floor. Take your time. It's great for the ankles, also great for the quads. And once again, you can do the reclining variation if that feels good first thing in the morning. All right, then I'm going back to the squat here. Still using the prop, or you might be able to get rid of the prop. Notice I put a little bit of space between my feet, reach the arms out in front. My ankle flexibility has been not the best over the years, but with effort, it has improved, and doing a series like this is definitely helpful. After the squat, I'm going to come into a forward fold, a little bit of space between the thighs. So it's kind of like Padangusthasana here. I'm relaxing in the shoulders and moving the joints a little bit. Like one of my teachers said, he's 84, been practicing for 60 years. If you don't move your joints, you're going to lose your movement. And if you just stay still, you're wasting your time. So move your joints. Next, I'm going to do this lunge variation. And in this lunge variation, it's going to help to open up the feet. So you see I keep the back toes tucked under. I'm keeping the back of the neck long. I'm opening the ankle. And now I'm going to open both feet. So I'm going to take my right knee to the floor. And I'm going to sit with my right sit bone on my right heel. Lift the back knee strong. And just open the feet in this modified lunge variation. All these postures can be done for like 10 breaths minimum. Do them longer if you like. And then you can step the next foot. So it's not a full lunge here, right? It's the knee is going where you'd put the foot in a lunge. And then you're opening the feet here. And when you feel ready, you lift your back knee up off the floor and activate that back leg. But again, if it's too much to activate the back leg, you can keep your knee on the floor. That's an option too. The goal is to open the feet. And ankles, obviously, being the ankle series and all. Then I'd spend a little bit of time in down dog and just move your legs, bend one knee, bend the other. And let's go into a full lunge now. So the right foot is stepping forward. You're taking the knee over the toes. Yes, that's right, over the toes. That's going to help with your ankle flexibility. And you could keep your hands on the floor. Or you could take your hands up onto your knee and press your knee forward. Just finding space in the ankles here. Notice I'm sliding my foot back a little bit just to find a little extra space. 10 breaths, longer if you like. There we go. Obviously, something was not quite right there, but it's working now. So taking the knee over the toes, opening the ankle. You can keep your back knee on the floor. That's totally fine. And then let's switch it up. Sending the knee over the toes, opening the ankle, sending your back thigh towards the floor. You can take the head back for this or keep the chin into the chest, depending on how you're feeling. And then I'm going to press back again, get a bit of down dog. Maybe open the shoulders a bit by pressing the head towards the floor. Now come up to stand, reach your arms above you, cross your wrists, and stand on your tiptoes. Try and keep the heels touching the whole time. And inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Keeping the heels touching the whole time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Do 5 to 10 or so of these. And then when you complete with 5 to 10 with the wrists crossed one direction, then change the cross of the wrists and go the other side. So the way that feels weird, in other words. But the whole time you're trying to keep the heels together and you're following the breath. You can keep your belly engaged here. Watch that you're not back bending. Find a nice tall spine like in Samastitihi. Now let's do a wide leg forward fold, just like Prasarita in the standing series. And I'm going to hold the outer edges of my feet instead of the toes here. Find some space in the shoulders and just enjoy a nice long forward fold. Drawing the belly back. Breathing here. And then we'll do a lift up and come into this variation of side splits. Some people call it Skandasana. It's a different posture in Ashtanga. So call it what you like. This wide split variation. Squeezing the legs in, finding the balance, pulling the toes on the left foot in towards you, lifting the chest. You can also keep your hands on the floor for this. I like to take the hands under the pelvis, like you see here. But if you're feeling ready for it, you can take the arms wide or the arms in front or the hands in prayer, find some space. And then let's repeat a wide leg forward fold. Maybe bring the feet in a little bit, move the joints a little. And from there, we're going to come into a squat with wider feet. So this is kind of like what you might do for a preparation for Titibhasana or Bhujapidasana. Press the shoulders into the knees, lift the chest. Again, these are great to hold for 5, 10, 15 breaths. And then you're ready for your Ashtanga Yoga practice. Chant the invocation, come into Samastitihi, and begin your Surya Namaskar. You'll be feeling light. The ankles will be feeling open. And I really hope this serves you on your practice. Keep up doing the practice, and we'll see you soon.